Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Beth. Today we're setting up for July 8th through the 14th. This should be a fairly quick plan with me. I've been in a little bit of a mood. And I'm also making do. My Gaiman leather case here comes with an insert that has pin holders in it, and my colors of the month are in that, and I left them on my desk at work when I packed up at the end of last week. So I'm making do with the Tombow and an Amazon Basics that's probably the same color orange that I was using last week. We'll see. I looked everywhere and all of a sudden I realized, yeah, Beth, you probably left that at work. We're gonna go ahead and get this done. I have a little bit of a weird week in that I have one really late evening that I have to stick around. I'm not gonna put in any of these headers this week, just not feeling it, don't want to do it. We are going to go ahead and put in meetings and appointments. We're going to start off with our moon phase. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger over here. Saturday is going to be the first quarter moon. That's the big moon phase that's in here for the month. All right. And then meetings and appointments. I'm continuing. No meeting Monday morning from 8 until noon. It looks like I'm going to be able to do my lunch break at noon all week long. But I do have some other appointments in and around. I'm just going to continue to circle the time slot in which those take place. See if that continues to work. I recently did a flip through of my whole planner from January to June. I talked about in that video how weekly planning is relatively new to me now that I'm more than 6 months into it, still referring to it as being relatively new to me. And really what it does for my brain is make me step back and look at the week as a whole. Sometimes I set this up and I never come back into the weekly, and sometimes I set it up and I do come back into the weekly. It just depends, but it really does serve as that eagle eye view of making me look at my week as a whole, and that's something that I was not that great at before. So it does give me that zoom out bird's eye view of the week so that come Monday morning I know what I'm walking into, obviously, as my life has certainly proven in 2024 that there are going to be curveballs and things that come up and things that change, but at least this gives you a little bit of a starting point. My work week, do I want to use washi tape? Nope, not gonna do it. I thought about that way longer than you got to see. There was a little bit of a ponder there whether I was gonna get the washi tape out. I'm not. I'm just going to draw a line on my work hours and we're going to move on from there. So both of these meetings are in the wrong spot now that I've drawn those circles there. Okay, let's do this. Let's draw my I get off work at 5 o'clock situation and put those back up on 3 o'clock where they're supposed to be. And then we'll cover something up with a sticker. That's what we'll do. Oh, Beth. All right. I'm going to go ahead and erase a little bit here. Well, there we go. Let me write this one in first before I forget this was, because it's an acronym. This meeting is an event meeting, but it's not my event. It's an event for another division. They're supposed to have their own people planning it. They keep trying to rope me into what I can do for them, and I told them 9 months ago that I was here in an advisory capacity only, and now we're having to meet for me to clarify what that means because they keep trying to get me pulled into logistics and I don't have the bandwidth for that. I got my own things I have to plan. All right, so no meeting Monday morning. Gonna go ahead and block that all off. And then lunch. Sometimes I bracket out lunch like this. This time I'm putting it in like a normal meeting. And then at 3 o'clock, I have to have my teeth cleaned. Gotta go to the dentist. Dental maintenance. Can't miss that appointment. It snuck up and surprised me though. When I was doing my July plan with me, all of a sudden I thought, oh man, already? Then Tuesday, I have that event meeting. Wednesday, I have a staff meeting, which sometimes we can get into 30 minutes. Sometimes it's an hour and a half. You just never know how long that meeting's gonna go. Thursday is a little bit different. I've mentioned multiple times on this channel that I'm the chair of our MVP committee and that one of the best parts of my month is popping up and surprising the MVP for the month within our organization. We have a lot of different shifts in our organization, and this person works a night shift all of the time. So we need to catch them coming in for their night shift. So we can't do our surprise for this MVP until 6:30 at night. I don't know if I'm going to leave work and just run a few errands, but stay close to work and then come back at 6:30, or if I'm just going to hang out at work. I haven't decided. I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's going to work out in my favor because on Friday, CALS, which is the Central Arkansas Library System, is having their annual book sale. Thursday, it opens to donors of the library patrons, that kind of thing. And then Friday at 10, it opens to the public and runs until 2, and then it's open to the public again on Saturday from 10 to 2. But by the time that rolls around, the books will be picked over. Paperbacks are $1, hardbacks are $2, and I'm gonna try to go to the cow sale this year. And because I have this extra time here, I can cut out in the middle of the day without having to justify it to my supervisor. Then Saturday is an exciting day because Saturday is my first Patreon hangout. We're gonna have it on Zoom, and the details for that are over on my Patreon. This hangout is going to be for paid members only, at least the first one, mainly because I'm not sure how many people are going to show up, and mainly because I'm a little bit nervous. I get to finally start meeting everybody in person, virtually in person, but getting to see faces and no names. I'm really super excited by that. But that's going to be from 2 until 3:30 on Saturday Central Time in America. In-office days and remote days should be the standard this week. I had a few more remote days last week. Ended up needing to stay home for maintenance to come by and do some things, just general maintenance. But I like to be here so that nobody lets my fur babies out the door and I can make sure that they stay safe kind of situation. So in office on Monday, remote Tuesday, in office Wednesday, Thursday, and then remote on Friday. That is what my work week looks like. Now before I forget, I'm going to stick some kind of sticker over these 2 bubbles. Not sure what I'm going to put there. I might have to cut something else out. Most of the stickers and things that I have for this month have a vertical orientation, apparently. I've just been looking through them, so this is not going to cover it the whole way. But we can put that little orange there. Grab this other little orange. Kind of make it look like it's all one and the same. Just a little bit. It'll be fine. Covering up mistakes. All good. See? That looks just fine. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna try to track my meals. I know some of y'all are probably already shaking your head going, well, that's not gonna work. Because you've seen me try it time and time again now. I don't know. It's all good. I'm going to put a little chart down here for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. I have bailed on my formal meal planning for a little while, and I've gone back to HelloFresh just to make it easier on myself mentally. I do kind of let the stress of trying to figure some of those things out get to me. Decision making and all of that. It's fine. But I had also broken away from it a little bit for budget. But what I have done in all of my other meal planning is I have sort of naturally fallen into some lower portions, smaller portions. I don't remember actively making any kind of a choice that said, you're going to eat less. I just naturally started doing it at some point. What that means for most of the HelloFresh meals now is that I can get 3 meals out of them instead of 2. So the order that I have set up for is 2 portions per meal, and I can actually get 3 out of it, and I'm not starving myself. Now, y'all don't, those of you who see me live are gonna know that I don't starve myself. I'm a big girl. It's just this thing that's just happened. I think it came with living alone. Some of it has to do with the current heat and temperatures, and we don't like to cook when it gets super hot. I don't like to eat a lot when I'm super hot. So So for now, I think I can get 3 meals out of every single one of my HelloFreshes, and I want to just track how that's going. How this actually happened is that I forgot to unpause. I had paused a certain number of weeks out, and then the first week that I was not paused snuck up and my HelloFresh box just showed up at my door. And I was like, oh yeah, forgot to go in and pause that week. I ended up with a box on Tuesday and have been making those meals, and I thought, well, maybe let's just go back to HelloFresh for a little bit. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks here, and then I'll put the weather below it. Now for the weather this week, not quite sure how this is gonna shake out. Hurricane Beryl, of course, has come across, if this is the United States and South America, Hurricane Beryl has come across Jamaica and is heading towards Mexico. Just hate it for anybody who got smacked with that storm, which is the earliest of its size in hurricane season ever. Further proof of our planet being angry and mad and climate change and all of those sorts of things. But it will hit Mexico at some point, it'll hit Texas at some point, and then the jet stream is going to push it back towards Arkansas. So we're going to get some rain. It'll be remnants. It's going to cool things off a little bit. We're going to get some rain. Right now, it's just projected because you really kind of never know what a hurricane's going to do or how much it's going to slow down once it hits land. So we have some storms Monday, rain Tuesday, rain Wednesday, and then we go back into our sunny skies for July. The temperatures are going to be a little bit lower because of it. And yeah, we'll just see. Those of you who are in direct path of, you know, batten down your hatches, do whatever you need to do. Those of you who have already experienced its wrath, I hope that you and your families are safe and that your cleanup's not too terribly bad. Yeah, I say that and it's not pretty. I have storms for Monday, rain, AM rain, and then we go back into our sunny skies. Okay. And then I'm going to continue to put a quote down at the bottom. This is a shortened one of Neil Gaiman's quotes. You know, he's one of my favorites. And it has to do with falling and failing. And the end of that full quote, he says, is sometimes when you fall, you fly. And it just feels very meaningful right now. I have been in a little bit of a depression. I've had some medication changes to my bipolar medications, and I've just not been having a really great time. I think we are on the front end of it. I didn't let myself get to a really terrible state, meaning needing to be institutionalized or feeling suicidal. Those are all places that with my bipolar disorder I have been before. Because I'm so diligent with my care, because I see my psychiatrist quarterly, because I see my therapist every 2 weeks. These are things that we can identify on the front end. My doctor increased some medications and had a blood test on Friday, and some of those levels are still low. We're gonna let that increase ride for a couple of weeks and then may need to increase them again to balance out my moods. So that's really messy and I don't mind. I normally use a Tamiflu no Soke when I'm doing the heavier black lining, and that's one of the ones that is in my office and not here. Even then, it's on death's door. I keep meaning to pick up a new set of those and keep forgetting until I'm using one, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, I need to replace these, and then I forget again. That cycle. That's what I get for not putting them on a list. Sometimes when you fall, you fly. That's just one of those things that I needed this week. The other thing that I needed is just a kick in the pants to try to be aware of my mood. And I'm going to stick this sticky note printable from my kit up there and write something on it. I don't know what I'm going to write on it yet. It'll be something along the lines of check your mood, watch your mood, check your negativity bias, which mine is very strong. I don't know what I'm going to write on it yet. So for now, we're going to leave it. And then up here, I'll put any dates or appointments that I have with friends or whatnot once those come around. I don't have anything planned. I probably need to plan something with someone to assist with the whole mood situation. But for now, we're gonna just do some decorate. We're gonna stick July over here, put some other stickers on the page, and then do our 52 lists project. I'm gonna highlight our week. Let me know down in the comments below what you've got going on this week. If you've got anything special scheduled or any celebrations you're looking forward to. Do you do moon planning? Like, does the first quarter moon matter to you? Do you schedule goals and things around the moon? I'm always curious to see who pays attention to that kind of thing and who doesn't. I think I was going to put some more stickers on here, but then when I had to do this situation, it's making it a little more cluttered. So we're just going to go ahead and leave it. And that'll be it for the vertical planning. Let's hop back here and do list 28, which I've already set up for myself. Here is, again, the 52 lists project. Y'all are used to seeing this by now, unless you're new here. And last week we jumped into summer with list the things that make you feel healthy, mind, body, and soul. I did list some of those things out in my journal, but it was the obvious things like movement and meditation and self-care rather than self-soothing. So that's one of the things that I've been exploring a whole lot. We talk about self-care all of the time, and sometimes what we are doing is binging Netflix or, you know, those are things that are self-soothing. So they're temporary, they're not long-term. And self-care are those things that we do for ourselves that have long-term advantages, like getting in movement or daily meditation, that sort of thing. All right, list 28. List the wildest things you want to try. Do you have a bucket list? Are all of these things on it? Maybe it's about time that you got a little wild and did something outside your norm. Go do something crazy. Look at that cute fox. The fox is my son's favorite animal. List the wildest things you want to try. Okay, I kind of have a list. Let me get this written in here. This is one of those things that I feel like is a little... I limit myself. It's not forced limitation, I don't think. It's me placing limitations on, in that I can't do certain things because of my weight, or I can't do certain things because of budget. When you start talking about the wildest things you want to do, I think about things like bungee jumping, because I would love to bungee jump. I don't think either my ankles, knees, or spine could handle it at this point in my life. Who knows? Maybe if I did drop some weight, those things would be okay. Harnesses tend to stabilize those parts of your body so that they're not getting jinked around. But yeah, that's what I think about. I want to go bungee jumping in New Zealand. Well, then I gotta get to New Zealand. Then I've got to be the weight that I can bungee jump. You know, when you say the wildest things. So I gotta think about that one. Let me know though, if you've got a list of wild things that you want to do. I need to know in the comments. Give me some ideas. Give me some inspiration. And then we can come back and visit those next week. So that is it for this week. That is my plan with me. We're all on a trajectory to get my mood going from this direction to this direction. I have a team of people helping me do that. Give me all your good vibes and juju as we are climbing out of not a great feeling period of my life. But again, I've lived with it for 29 years. I've had bipolar disorder for a long time. You have your goods and you have your bads. If you like this video, y'all, you know what to do. Please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next one.